DNA one more time. We back at you again. Same day, new topic. We double up on the recordings. That's how we get down, you know.
Especially when we've been away from each other so long.
That's how it goes.
Missed you.
Yeah. So, today's topic, we're not going to talk about our weight. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
We still waiting. Today's topic is going to be legalization of marijuana. Yay or nay?
I think yay. Is it yay? I think yay. The reason I say yay is because
Yay like yeah or yay like you happy?
yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be legal because it grows from the ground. It's an herb. It doesn't. The thing that people say that it does, it doesn't.
It grows from the ground.
Well,
I know a couple other things that grow from the ground that's really illegal.
well, okay. Well, this herb shouldn't be illegal. I think that people who decide to smoke marijuana, as long as they're not going to work around children, driving, I think as long as they're in their home or in someone's home and they're all together, and they know they won't be going anywhere for a while, just like with drinking, you do it responsibly. Mm-hmm. And as long as it's responsibly done, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But just like cigarettes, I don't think it should be smoked outside or around other people because other people don't want that in their face.
Secondhand smoke.
So I think that as long as you're in your home or in an environment where it can be tolerated and there are no children, I think I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I don't smoke marijuana, and people who smoke marijuana should be allowed to smoke marijuana just like they're allowed to smoke cigarettes, allowed to drink whatever they want to drink. And I think the only reason it's not legal the way we think it should be legal is because you can't tax it, or you couldn't tax it. Now they're making it where it's medical marijuana and they can tax it. And I think it's the only reason why they didn't want you to smoke it. There may be other reasons, but I think that's the main. Put that as the main reason.
Well, let's talk about this double standard of legalization of marijuana in the United States. This has been a drug that is proven to be a treatment for glaucoma, the gout, aches and pains, nerves. Dare I say, some people take it for mood swings if people suffer from.
But isn't that what it's for anyway?
In a sense, I would imagine, yeah. In terms of the legalization, I feel like it's the level of hypocrisy from the government is blatant and it's in our face because you have recently here in the state of Virginia is some kind of law that's either about to be passed or was passed about some kind of marijuana oil, which is a lot more potent. Understand? Mm-hmm. But they looking to legalize that, or some kind of sanctions. This is, you can't quote me on this. This is nothing. This is speculatory from snippets that I heard from the news. In Colorado, where marijuana is legalized by the government, by the state, or by the government, but the state said it's one or the other, So, to me, it's a matter of your mother says you can, your father says you can't, because actually no, it's legal by the government, but the state says it's not. And the reason I say that is because these marijuana dispensaries in Colorado have not only marijuana, and they have consumables. They have gum, lip balm, candy bars. You understand? They have consumables. These are food products. Now, anything that you eat in the United States has to be approved by the FDA. The FDA is the federal government. It's the branch of the federal government. So if you can sell candy with marijuana in it, if you can sell lip balm with marijuana in it, if you can sell butter with marijuana in it, if you can sell lollipops, cookies, then that means the government says it's okay because it has to be FDA approved. Okay? The double standard is, and the hypocrisy is, the government, for some reason, banks have all this pressure and they don't want to accept money from these dispensaries. You understand? So now you have huge amounts of marijuana and huge amounts of cash in the same place. Okay? Which makes it a higher risk for the shop owners. You understand? Because it's easy to come in and commit a crime where you get money and weed in the same place. You understand? Every now and again, the government or the state will get a wild hair up their keister and decide to go in and shut down a marijuana dispensary. 30, 60, 90 days.
So,
you know, so listen, they go in, they seize everything. They seize all the assets, all the merchandise. They inventory it. But since it's cash, who's to say? Who's to say what's really in there?
Right.
You know, not saying that the police would do anything illegal, because we know that never happens. But anyway, just the fact that they do things like that, that lets people know, you know, that this is something that you're choosing to do, and this is, how is it okay if it's not right, and how is it right if it's okay? You know, that's why I get, you know, your mother say you can, your father say you can't. In order for it to be FDA approved, that means the government has to say this is okay. Okay, just like cigarettes, just like alcohol. You understand? Because they can tax these things.
Right.
Okay. But, and another problem is, by you doing that now, what kind of charge can you give somebody if you catch them driving under the influence of marijuana? Is it, I guess, the equivalent of a DUI with a different twist to it? You know? But, so, I mean, it's so much that I feel really still should have been researched and looked into before they made it okay. You know, to say, well, okay, it's legal because it's legal in more than one state now, but it's not legal in all the states. Yet, cigarette smoke, you know, smoking a cigarette, you can buy a cigarette from any place in the United States, and it's legal. You can buy liquor and alcohol from any place in the United States, and it's legal. But there was a time when moonshiners was on the back roads driving, and you know, and I mean, so
the thing is, the government does their research, and everybody has the pros and cons. You just don't see all the pros and cons. You see our pros and cons, and then their pros and cons for why they didn't say this and didn't say that, or said this and said that. My opinion. The pros for selling marijuana, we got that. It's good for this, it's good for that. The cons is kids might get it, you know, people might drive using it, or we can't tax it or whatever. Over here is they cannot put that money in our banks. They cannot put it. The banking system is what is top of everything. So they cannot put it in the bank, which means they can sell this marijuana that we know about. When we feel we have enough money, when we feel that they have made enough money, we'll come in and we'll get it together and stack it up and count it out and let them know what's going on, and then we'll let them know what they made. And we'll let them know if they can open it back up, because we don't want, you know, certain things to happen. When they close you down and they take that money that can't be put into the bank, that is their money. They put it in the bank.
What they doing with it?
They put it in the bank.
Oh, okay.
It's just we can't put it in the bank.
No, but the actual dispensaries, now the way they do it, because I saw a special about this, and they have to put money in the bank, but they can't just take the cash. They got to convert it into money orders. This is the way it's done. This is something that I saw on a major network. You know, I'm not gonna call the network, but it's a major network. And I was like, well, that's the same thing. You know, but I guess if it's in a money order, it's kind of laundered, I guess.
The thing is, that's the pros and cons you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to do it because it's for this, it's for that, and it's good for the community. I mean, for the country, it's good. It's good for this because it helps people out. They don't have to take the synthetic drug. They can take this, but the money is ours. It grows on our land. We get this money. No matter what you, I don't know how it works as far as in the stores when you go in there and or wherever you go to get it, how they do it, you know, how they sell it or whatever. But because you can't put that money in the bank the way you want to put it in, like every night you get the deposit into the bank. They knew that before they started this.
Yeah.
So
that was the rules that they made.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They do their research.
Which is to me, that's an out for them. So in case they need some money, you understand? Because look, I can tell you from experiences of my coming up at a time when I was coming up, there was a task force that would come around and they would seize, you know, drugs, guns, money, you understand, property.
I remember that kind
of
stuff.
Houses, cars, stuff like that. Then they would turn around and use those very same cars to go out and patrol those very same areas. Because now you look up and you see this car with these, you know, rims and tinted windows, you can't see inside. It would be, you know, law enforcement in those vehicles, you know, and it would be easier for them to be camouflaged to get around in the areas that they had to survey for whatever reasons. You understand? This money was taken to purchase more materials and goods and things like that to help with these sting operations. You understand? That's the way that went. That was quite some time ago. When I was coming up, you know, then thanks to those beatings that I got, not many, but the few that I did get, I deserved, made me a very good child. See the halo?
My dad just sit us down in front of the TV. Yeah, and we had to watch this kind of stuff and what it does to you and all that. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a good child. It wasn't the whoopings, but that was when I saw those people take certain things, not marijuana, but the other drugs. Yeah. That's drug. The word drug. Period. Yeah. And my father said the reason they call it dope is because only dopes take it. So that was we sat in front of the TV. That's one of the reasons I don't do drugs, and I have put it into my kids don't do drugs. As far as the legalization of marijuana, I think it should be legal, but I don't think, just like I said before, it should be in a certain place at a certain time.
I myself, I believe, alcohol, you can die from alcohol poisoning, cirrhosis of the liver, you know, various other things. Smoking tobacco, emphysema, cancer, you know, different things. Marijuana, I've never heard anything that it caused in terms of problems. Right. All I've heard was treatments for things, for cancer, for gout, for migraines, for, you know, things of that nature. I feel like it should be legalized, and, you know, it should not be, they shouldn't make it synthetic and all that crazy stuff, because then you tampering with something. Right. You know.
That's natural.
And yeah, it don't need to be fixed. Don't fix it. You know, but that's my personal opinion. Right. You know, I really don't know. I mean, the government does what the government does because that's what the government does. You know, that's the way that goes. That's my opinion on it. You already got her opinion, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Remember, Subscribe.
Tell your friends to subscribe.
Be good to each other. Comment. Talk about it. Give us your feedback. See what you say. You know?
Yeah, so we can continue this if you want to continue.
Exactly. 420 is coming up, so that'll be a conversation we can have.
Right.
Till then, DNA signing off.